Hi guys. Have you noticed how when you think of the future or you think of the past, is usually think we usually think about it in a it kind of makes us feel in a negative way. It kind of makes us feel like it's usually when we think of the past many times it's stuff that we regret or things that we didn't do well, failures, rejections. When we think of the future, it's the same thing. We kind of have a negative feeling, okay, like we're not doing enough. So this is this is something that I this is something that is very common also with athletes. As an athlete, you think of the past, and many times you think of games or matches that you lost, and the only thing that it does to you, and the only thing that it does, I'm talking about the athletes, and it happens also off the court. Athletes and non-athletes, we think of the past, and it's something that usually it depresses you. Why? Because we're thinking like, I should have done this, I should have done that. Instead of this, I should have done this, and I should have done it better. I should have taken action earlier. I should have talked to her. I should have asked her for it. I should have been able to see things. I should have been able to do things better. I should have been able to figure out then that I wasn't doing it good enough. It's usually always something that is gonna get us depressed because we're not happy with how things happen. Even many times, even with the things that we're successful to do, the things that we achieve, we think I should have done better. I achieved it, but and we could and in the past you could have been happy with it with that achievement, but years go by, or probably weeks or months, and then you're like, I should have done better. You the credit that you were giving to yourself for achieving something is gone. Now it has turned into a I should have done better. I should have taken action earlier. I should have had the skills or the talent to do this easier. It shouldn't have taken that long, or it shouldn't have been that difficult for me. So we usually look at the past in a way like, okay, this is more like that depresses us. And the future is anxiety. Why? Because usually when you think of the future, it's like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm not doing enough right now. By now I should have had this much money saved. By now I should have had this type of career, or I should have been this successful in this career. By now I should have had this position in the company and make this much money, or achieve this much. See, so the future gets us in that anxious position where we feel that what we're doing right now, it affects us so much that it takes us to a place where what we're doing right now is not enough. We kind of find, if we want to, we're always gonna find something that is not gonna make us happy with how things are going on right now, and that worries us about what's gonna happen in the future. And that's the reason why when I teach my students, I say, what happened in the past, you have to let it go. You learn. I always tell them, this is three things. Learn. If you lose a point, or you lose a game, or you fail at school, or you fail at work, something that happened, rejection, failure, whatever, you learn from it, you let it go, and then you move on. Learn, let go, and move on. Those are the three things that I always tell them. You learn from that in the past, you let it go, and you move on, because now you're working in the present to get a better, whatever is coming, to be better. So you have you have to learn to focus in the moment. You have to learn to what's going on right now, where you are right now at work, where you are right now at school, where you are right now in your relationships, or at home, or in a competition, or anything. If we jump in time, we go to the past and we're gonna get depressed. We go to the future and we're gonna get anxious. So we have to learn to say, okay, I have to stay in this moment. I have to stay. I have to learn to keep my mind from traveling in time, because whether I go to the past or whether I go to the future is not gonna bring me anything that is gonna make me feel better and help me right now. And the moment what we're doing now, the focus that we should have lasered in this moment right now is dividing. So not all of you is in the moment when it should be like that. All right, guys. Okay, well, I hope it helps you. Give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.